Hey everybody, Bob here. I'm going to do a short video today on the F850GS. The subject matter here is the gear shift lever. So I'm trying to deal with the fact that I've got some big adventure boots with a big toe, and despite the fact that I've got these nice pivot pegs here to dip things a little bit, I'm having a tough time getting in there and want to figure out whether or not I need to purchase a lever that's got an adjustable length, or whether or not I can do it a different way. So with some advice from some guys on ADV Rider, they said do it like a dirt bike. Raise up the lever here by moving it on the spline here, which on a dirt bike's generally down here at the pivot point. But this has got all this extra linkage in here, and so my concern has been that with all this linkage and everything else, did I need to do anything else, or am I overthinking it? And they say, you're overthinking it. Just do it. So I'm going to do that here, and hopefully this is like a 5-minute job, and it won't be too big of a deal, and then it'll be out there for posterity purposes. First things first, I've got what I think is the right wrench, a T30 Torx for this nut here on the spline, and I'm going to take off this plastic cover in order to gain access in there, because this isn't going to fit otherwise, and I think it will once the plastic cover is removed. Plastic cover requires maybe a T25. Let me see if that's correct. Yep, T25 to remove that, and then it's pull it off of the sort of rubber points in there. Back here you can see it's kind of still attached, and that's just a matter of pulling, and I'm not even careful, need to do that. I may be able to get away without actually doing that. A little bit of wiggling there, and I've pretty well gained access what I need. So let's see, try a T30. And that's the right one. And that's this way. So loosen here. All right. So with that loosened up quite a bit, I should be able to stick a screwdriver in there and spread this this guy just a little bit if I need to, and pull that off. And the idea is to then pick up the lever by just a bit, watch this thing rotate, and stick it back in one spline away from where it currently is, which always seems like a small amount out here, but when you're way out here at the end of the lever, it actually does usually make quite a bit of difference, sometimes half an inch to an inch of play difference, and then we'll have to check and make sure that we're okay with the case, make sure nothing's going to bang in there. So we'll see if that'll work. So this is actually coming off nice and easy. And I want to make sure that I take this off and I don't rotate anything in the midst of doing that. I actually loosened this nut further, and I'm just going to take it out just to make sure that it's not helping anything bind in there. And then I took a decent sized screwdriver and just splayed this a little bit just to remove any other binding that there was, to see if I could bring that out further. And indeed it did help to get it out here to the edge. So I also took off that plastic piece just by pulling on the left end, kind of working it, and it popped out with a nice satisfying pop. So the idea here is to pull this off the spline and then not move anything, so that we can figure out how to adjust it by one notch and one notch only. So a couple of bent needle nose are happy to oblige. Just about off, just getting a millimeter at a time. There we go. So that's one. So it's always a bit surprising on dirt bikes as well how much change it makes. So I slide this guy back on, put it nice and firmly in there. It does not get flush to the front. You'll notice when you take it off, so it's nice and flush to the back. You can feel a nice satisfying stop point. I'll put the screw back in and tighten that down. Alright, so I did a quick stand while it's on the stand. I did a quick stand-up on it with these are the boots in question, the CD Adventure Reigns. They've got a pretty big toe section that were causing me trouble, and so here's what we've got as a final product there. And with one spline of movement, I did tighten this back down, and I haven't put on the plastic piece yet because I'm going to take it for test drive and make sure it works. But just standing on it, doing that stand test, it's a huge difference. I think that this may actually make the difference, so I don't have to buy one of those adjustable levers, which are at least 150 bucks, and I was hoping to avoid that, and I'll be pretty happy if I can. Anyway, that's it. So this is Bob, BMW F850GS 2019, shift lever adjustment, adjusting the spline, and hopefully that's the end of the story.